Welcome to Warhammer Warscroll Review. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Seraphon unit, Saurus Warriors.
Warscroll Review.
Saurus Warriors are an iconic unit from Warhammer Fantasy, and have plenty of uses in Age of Sigmar. Saurus have an average 5-inch move and a 5-up save. Just like every other demon unit, they are Bravery 10. This is one of the few Seraphon units worth bringing in big units, so this high bravery is a huge bonus on Saurus Warriors. The models have 3 different weapons. They always have their attack from the powerful Jaws and Stardrake shield, but they can also choose between the Celestite club or spear. The trade-off being a better range on the spear and a better wound value on the club. Since these models will often be going in large units, the Celestite spears are going to often be the better way to go. If the Seraphon player is only taking 10 warriors, the clubs will be fine, but since the swords come on 32mm bases, they won't be able to fight in ranks. Only the models next to the enemy would get to swing. A 2-inch reach means the number of Saurus Warriors can more than double. The Stardrake Icon and War Drum have the expected effects from a Seraphon Standard Bearer and Musician. The Icon adds 1 nearby enemy battle shock test, and the drums allow the Seraphon to double their movement but forgo charging and running. Their shield allows them to ignore Ren 1, which is actually pretty handy. This rule means that the Saurus are usually going to get their full 5-up save. Ordered Cohort is a special rule that allows them to add 1 to their hit rolls if the unit has at least 20 models, and adds an attack to the Celestite weapons if the unit has 30 models or more. It is worth noting that the +1 attack may only apply to the Celestite weapons, but the +1 to hit applies to both of their weapons. Saurus Warriors come in units of 10 and max out at 40 models. The Seraphon player is paying 100 points per 10 and 360 points to have a maximum sized unit. This price is actually pretty decent for 40 models, and gives them a 10 model buffer for the ordered cohort rule. Not only are they relatively inexpensive, they are battle-aligned to Seraphon and Order Grand Alliance. Seraphon players should take Saurus in units of at least 20, but preferably 30 or 40. 30 or 40 Saurus is actually a decent chunk of bodies to deal with. Taking 10 will be pretty ineffective and will be better replaced by 10 Skinks. The fact that Skinks are so much cheaper means they're probably going to be the better chaff unit to block your important models. With that said, Saurus still make a durable screen, and at 40 models will surprise the opponent by its counterattack. While unlikely, if all 40 models were within an inch of the enemy, the unit would be pumping out 120 attacks. Saurus Warriors can sit back and block the Seraphon magic and artillery, or advance up the table. Using the War Drum makes the unit surprisingly fast. While the Saurus Warriors can certainly stand on their own, there are plenty of other models and special rules they synergize with. A Saurus Old Blood would not only allow the Saurus Warriors to reroll wound rolls of 1 for models within 5 inches, but the Old Blood's command ability moves the unit up 3 inches as long as it keeps 1 model still. With the War Drum, this moves the Warriors up a respectable 13 inches a turn. The Saurus Sunblood has a useful command ability called Scent of Weakness. This ability allows the Seraphon player to choose an enemy unit and reroll all hits against that unit with the Saurus models. Saurus Scar Veterans and Cold One also have a command ability that will be helpful, allowing the unit of warriors to reroll hit and charge rolls of 1. The most potent command ability for the Saurus Warriors is probably with the Saurus Scar Veteran on Carnosaur. Saurian Savagery allows the unit to roll another attack whenever you roll a 6 to hit. This, on a unit of 20 or more Saurus Warriors, would be scoring extra hits on 5s. Statistically, a unit of 30 or more warriors would each be triggering their Savagery for an extra attack, as they'd have 3 attacks each. Meaning a unit of 40 models, getting all their attacks in, would be scoring 40 additional attacks because of this command ability. Outside of command abilities, other units can further enhance the warriors. The Saurus Astrolith Bearer's ability would be quite beneficial to a large unit of Saurus, allowing them to reroll their hit rolls. The Skink Priest is always a welcome addition to a Seraphon army. Their Celestial Rites ability would allow them to reroll run, charge, and save rolls. All of these are good on warriors, but rerolling their save is really important on a large unit. Combining their Stardrake shields with a Mystic shield and this ability makes for a really durable unit. A Skink Star Priest not only can offer that Mystic shield, but another spell called Summon Starlight that would force the opponent to subtract 1 from hit rolls against the warriors. In tandem with the Skink Priest, Mystic Shield is probably the better choice, but without the Priest, Summon Starlight is more beneficial. If you heard all those Saurus command abilities and couldn't decide which to use, take the Bloodclaw Starhost. It is quite costly, but includes an Old Blood, mounted or otherwise, 3 Saurus heroes, and 3 to 9 units of Saurus, be they Knights, Warriors, or Guard. This battalion increases their jaw attacks by 1, but more importantly, allows all the Saurus to use their command abilities. With the Old Blood's ability, and the Sunblood and Scar Veterans command ability, a unit of 40 Saurus Warriors could statistically score around 100 wounds. This is the obvious downside of being a point sink. Like each of the other Saurus units, the Warriors have a battalion that centers around 3 units of them and a character. The Sunclaw Starhost includes 3 units of Saurus Warriors and 1 Saurus Sunblood. The Warscroll battalion allows the Saurus Warriors to make an additional attack with their jaw. In addition, it makes their Celestite weapons Ren 1, and against demons Ren 2. This battalion is fairly cheap and comes with the core components to an army, so it is not a bad choice when fielding multiple units of Saurus Warriors. This increases the potential amount of attacks for a maximum sized unit to 160, half of them being Ren 1. The Sunclaw is probably the most point efficient battalion to augment the Saurus Warriors offensively. While the Bloodclaw may produce 1 really powerful unit of Saurus Warriors, the Sunclaw's boosts affect all 3 units. Don't forget the battalion includes the Sunblood as well, to make the Saurus reroll hit rolls against a specific unit. You can't mention a Saurus unit's synergies without discussing the Slann Starmaster. 2 out of 3 of the Celestial configurations would directly benefit the Saurus Warriors, and the other would indirectly. The most effective being rerolling hit rolls of 1. The Slann's signature spell, Light of the Heavens, would actually come in handy with a large unit of Saurus Warriors if the Seraphon player is expecting heavy casualties. This spell would allow the Saurus to roll 2 dice for Battleshock tests and discard the highest. The Slann also has a command ability that would allow the Saurus to fly, and reroll save rolls in the shooting phase. The Slann Starmaster can also summon Saurus units, which is probably not worth trying except in a Dracothion's Tale. There's a lot to explain for that battalion, so please check out the Warscroll review for that one. In a Seraphon Allegiance army, the Slann grants even more enhancements. Vast Intellect would allow the Starmaster to cast any of the Skink Wizard's signature spells, meaning the Slann could cast Summon Starlight and Mystic Shield, making a unit of Saurus Warriors extremely sturdy. Also among the Seraphon Allegiance abilities is its battle trait, Lords of Space and Time. This ability would allow a unit of Saurus Warriors to teleport anywhere on the board 9 inches or more away from an enemy unit. The Saurus Warriors are fairly independent, so this could feasibly be used to throw up a giant unit of fully buffed warriors for the opponent to deal with while the rest of the army advances. A large unit of Saurus could wrap around the enemy's front line, halting their advance. Even in Order Grand Alliance, Saurus Warriors have a couple synergies. Defiant Avenger will actually come in handy in a large unit of Saurus by allowing them to reroll Battleshock tests, and the Inspiring command trait takes it a step further and allows the Saurus to skip the Battleshock test altogether. Also in an Order Grand Alliance, the Warriors could be enhanced by the Eldritch Council model, the Archmage. This model's spell would give the Saurus another chance to save a wound or a mortal wound on a 6. Saurus Warriors fit into a lot of army builds, though to take them at all, the player should be ready to invest quite a few points, as it is not really worth it just taking 10. A large unit is fine on its own, but really should be enhanced by other units since they have so many options. Saurus Warriors receive a 4 out of 5. As long as they are fielded in larger units, Saurus Warriors are a fairly solid battle line choice, and can be especially brutal once augmented by other Seraphon units. What do you think of Saurus Warriors? What other Warscrolls would you like to see reviewed on the channel? Leave your answers and questions in the comments below, and thanks for watching.